This one written by Jody Evans. And that's all I'll say about it. It's entitled Beeping Slooty. Once upon a time, there was a fruitful princess. When she was a wee baby, Food Garys gave her bunning duty, weight, wisdom, and a warp ship. Then a fad berry said that when she tweached her 20th birthday, she would frick her finger on a dindle and spy. But the Food Gary said that when she fricked her finger, she would only doll into a fleet. Nevertheless, her caddy, the Ding, was vorally sexed and had all the winning spiels in the Bingdom kerned. When the fruitful princess tweached the rage of Enti, one day she was pondering around the Wallace when she came upon a wugly old itch, spitting and sinning. When she spied the trindle, she fricked her finger and fell into a deep sleep, quick as a quink. When she did, all the portiers in the callous fell asleep too, and outside a horny gredge threw up. Time cast, and no one could penetrate the porns. Then one day, a hung and pransome yince came lighting along. With one futch of his tinger, the horny pedge farted. When he saw Beeping Slooty, he list her on the kips, and she smoke up and wild. They were parried in the malice and lived happily ever after.
Move back. Move back.
That brings me to my last story of the evening. This is a holiday poem by Ogden Nash, The Boy Who Laughed at Santa Claus. In Baltimore, there lived a boy who wasn't anybody's joy. Although his name was J.B.'s Dawes, his character was full of flaws. In school, he never led his classes. He hid old ladies' reading glasses. His mouth was open when he chewed, and elbows to the table glued. He stole the milk of hungry kittens and walked through doors marked "No Admittance." He said he acted thus because there wasn't any Santa Claus. Another trick that tickled JB's was crying "boo" at little babies. He brushed his teeth, they said in town, sideways instead of up and down. Yet people pardoned every sin and viewed his antics with a grin till they were told by JB's Dawes, there isn't any Santa Claus. Deploring how he did behave, his parents swiftly sought their grave. They hurried through the portals pearly, and JB's left the funeral early. Like whooping cough from child to child, he sped to spread the rumor wild. Sure as my name is JB's Dawes, there isn't any Santa Claus. Slunk like a weasel of a martin through nursery school and kindergarten. He whispered low to every tot, "There isn't any. No, there's not." The children wept all Christmas Eve as JB's chortled up his sleeve. No infant dared hang up his stocking for fear of JB's ribald mocking. He sprawled on his untidy bed, fresh malice dancing in his head, when suddenly, with scalp a tingling, JB's heard a distant jingling. He heard the sound of sleigh and hoof crisply alighting on the roof. What good to rise and bar the door? A shower of soot was on the floor. What was beheld by JB's daws? The fireplace full of Santa Claus. Then JB's fell upon his knees with cries of, "Don't," and "Pretty please." He howled, "I don't know where you read it, but anyhow, I never said it." "JB's," replied the angry saint, "it isn't I, it's you who ain't. Although there is a Santa Claus, there isn't any JB's daws." "Oh, yes, there is," JB's replied with impudent vim. "Oh, yes, there is, and I am him. Your magic don't scare me, it doesn't." And suddenly he found he wasn't. From angry feet to angry locks, JB's became a jack-in-the-box, an ugly toy with springs unsprung, forever sticking out his tongue. The neighbors heard his mournful squeal. They searched for him, but not with zeal. No trace was found of JB's daws, which led to thunderous applause, and people drank a loving cup and went and hung their stockings up. All you who sneer at Santa Claus, beware the fate of JB's daws, the saucy boy who mocked the saint. Donner and Blitzen licked off his paint. Thank you.
Very good, Larry. Very good.
Bravo. So what, folks? That was very good.
Very good.
Wonderful. And there were a lot of people that came in late. And so we're going to ask Larry to redo the first story so that those of you who came in late can see it. So thank you, Larry, for agreeing to do this. Hello again. I'm going to tell a story that you may have heard recently, maybe not. It's by Roald Dahl, and it's an adaptation of a classic fairy tale, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Before I start the story, there's one phrase in the story I want to mention that I was unfamiliar with when I first read the story, and that's the phrase "to do a bunk." It's a British phrase. To do a bunk is to make a hurried escape. So, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This famous wicked little tale should never have been put on sale. It is a mystery to me why loving parents cannot see that this is actually a book about a brazen little crook. Had I the chance, I wouldn't fail to clap young Goldilocks in jail. Now just imagine how you'd feel if you had cooked a lovely meal, delicious porridge steaming hot, fresh coffee in the coffee pot, with maybe toast and marmalade, the table beautifully laid, one place for you and one for Dad, another for your little lad. Then Dad cries,
Golly gosh, gee whiz, oh cripes, how hot this porridge is. Let's take a walk along the street until it's cool enough to eat. He adds, an early morning stroll is good for people on the whole. It makes your appetite improve. It also helps your bowels to move. No proper wife would dare to question such a sensible suggestion. Above all, not at breakfast time, when men are seldom in their prime. No sooner are you down the road than Goldilocks, that little toad, that nosy, thieving little louse, comes sneaking in your empty house. She looks around. She quickly notes 3 bowls brimful of porridge oats. And while still standing on her feet, she grabs a spoon and starts to eat. I say again, how would you feel if you had made this lovely meal and some delinquent little tot broke in and gobbled up the lot? But wait, that's not the worst of it. Now comes the most distressing bit. You are, of course, a house-proud wife, and all your happy married life, you have collected lovely things, like gilded cherubs wearing wings, and furniture by Chippendale, bought at some famous auction sale. But your most special valued treasure, the piece that brings you endless pleasure, is one small children's dining chair, Elizabethan, very rare. It is, in fact, your joy and pride, passed down to you on Grandma's side. But Goldilocks, like many freaks, does not appreciate antiques. She doesn't care, she doesn't mind, and now she plonks her fat behind upon this dainty, precious chair. And crunch, it busts beyond repair. A nice girl would at once exclaim, "Oh dear, oh heavens, what a shame!" Not Goldie, she begins to swear and bellows, "What a lousy chair!" and uses one disgusting word that luckily you haven't heard. I dare not say it, even hint it. Nobody would even print it. You'd think by now this little skunk would have the sense to do a bunk. But no, I very much regret she isn't nearly finished yet. Deciding she would like a rest, she says, "Let's see which bed is best." Upstairs she goes and tries all 3. Here comes the next catastrophe. Most educated people choose to rid themselves of socks and shoes before they clamber into bed. But Goldie didn't give a shred. Her filthy shoes were thick with grime and mud and mush and slush and slime. Worse still, upon the heel of one was something that a dog had done. I say once more, what would you think if all this horrid dirt and stink were smeared upon your eiderdown by this revolting little clown? The famous story has no clues to show the girl removed her shoes. Oh, what a tale of crime on crime. Let's check it for a second time. Crime 1, the prosecution's case. She breaks and enters someone's place. Crime 2, the prosecution notes. She steals a bowl of porridge oats. Crime 3, she breaks a dainty chair belonging to the baby bear. Crime 4, She smears each spotless sheet with filthy messes from her feet. A judge would say without a blink, 10 years hard labor in the clink. But in the book, as you will see, the little beast gets off scot-free, while tiny children near and far shout, "Goody good, hooray, hurrah! Poor darling Goldilocks," they say. "Thank goodness that she got away." Myself, I think I'd rather send young Goldie to a sticky end. "Oh, Daddy," cried the baby bear, "my porridge gone. It isn't fair." "Then go upstairs," the big bear said. "Your porridge is upon your bed, but as it's inside Mademoiselle, you'll have to eat her up as well."
Thank you, Larry. That's fabulous. It's worth hearing twice. I don't know how you do it, how you keep all of that in your head. It's wonderful. Thank you all for coming. We are going to post this on our website, and we will look forward to welcoming you back. Our next Members and Friends third Wednesday is in January. Don't have the date in front of me, but you all can figure that out, the third Wednesday. And Madison Laren will be here. If we can do a on-site dinner, we'll do that. If not, and do it by Zoom, we would do both. And if it's only by Zoom, then I hope you'll join us for that as well. Madison Laren will be talking about masks. She has been, she designed masks with flags, and she has, the Nordic Museum, we're told, has sold thousands of her masks. So it's gonna be very interesting to hear what she has to say. Thank you again for coming, and we hope to see you at the club sooner rather than later.
What
Bye-bye.
was the name, Christine, what was the name of the piece by Jody Evans that he read?
Larry,
He didn't read anything.
this is Don Wick asking us.
Hi, Don.
Great job, Larry. What was the name of the piece by Jody Evans?
That was called Beeping Slooty.
It was Beeping Slooty?
Beeping, it's a little bit like Sleeping Beauty, but it's switched around.
Okay,
Beeping
Beeping Slooty.
Slooty.
Okay, was good. Hey, Don Morgan, how you doing?
Hey, Don Wick. Great. Thank you, Larry. That was fantastic.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
And by the way, he didn't read any of them. He memorized all of them. There was no
Yeah.
reading involved.
Amazing.
Amazing. Great job.
Thank you all, and have a good night.
I think a few years ago, you did scary stories down at the Swedish Club one night.
Yes,
Yeah.
Those were great.
I love telling scary stories, but in the holiday spirit, I switched gears for tonight.
Very good.
Everyone.
Cheerio.